Your gift is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's your God-given gift. It's something that each one of you do better than you do anything else, and it comes to you naturally. Your gift comes natural to you. You just have to not look at it as running, jumping, singing, and dancing. If you fry chicken better than everybody else, then guess what? You should be somewhere frying chicken. But you can make a lot of money frying chicken now. See, Colonel Sanders, I don't know if you know his story. Colonel Sanders had a chicken recipe that he had been trying to get people to buy into for years. 30 years. Get out of here, we don't like that. One day, somebody tasted his chicken and they loved it. So they said, we're gonna open up a place called Kentucky Fried Chicken. This did not happen until Colonel Sanders was in his 60s. He was in his mid-60s when he got the first franchise. Kentucky Fried Chicken sells more chicken than anybody. They're in more countries, more locations than anybody else selling chicken. That was his gift. According to God, your gift will make room for you and put you in the presence of great men. Your gift will get you paid. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. You gotta know that. Listen to me, man. That God you serve, he's a bad boy. Because he do what he say he gonna do. If he gives you the gift, he gives you the gift to make room for you. That means you can spread out. Jokes ain't really supposed to pay this much, but they do. A friend of mine, when we were little, all he did was cut grass. You know, back in the day, he charged $2 for the front and $2 from the back. He had a single blade lawnmower. He was so good, he could adjust them blades and he could cut patterns in your grass. He could put your family initials in your grass. Now, you know, in the hood, that's pretty big. If you can get an H put in your grass in the hood, this was a popular dude. He charged $2 for the front, $2 for the back. Every time we went somewhere, we tried to get him to go. He said, I can't go, man. I got to cut Miss Jackson grass. We going swimming. No, I got to cut Miss Taylor's grass. He never went to the park. He didn't play ball with us. He cut grass. Today, in Cleveland, Ohio, he has a landscaping company. He charged $2 for the front, $2 for the back. That was $4 if you did your whole yard. He grosses today in Cleveland $4 million a year. He got every landscaping contract at every mall, every company, and when it snow out, he got 38 trucks. And when it snow outside, he put snow plows on the front of the trucks and he got all the snow removal. He made $4 million. You know what he do? He cut grass. He don't do nothing else but cut grass. You know why? That was his gift. So you know what God did for him? He let his gift make room for him. Now, if he can make $4 million cutting grass, what you sitting in here for? I've been working since I was a little boy. You know, my first gig I had was like 9. I wanted a wagon. Remember them wagons had the red railings on the side? Remember they had the little gates that fit around the wagon? All I wanted was a wagon. I didn't let nobody ride in my wagon. You couldn't play in my wagon. I collected pop bottles in my wagon. My goal was to collect 50 pop bottles with a 2-cent return before lunch every day, and I needed $1 worth of pop bottles so I could make, $2 a day. I just need $1, $2 a day. I worked with my father in construction. I worked on the assembly line for a motor company. I used to put 8 spark plugs in 1,400 engines a day. The layoffs came in 79, 80. I got married, unemployed. I worked at Lincoln Electric, wrapping hot wire. I worked at General Electric, delivering light bulbs. I sold. Then here what changed my life. I went to an Amway convention, and I heard some dudes saying that you could be rich selling soap powder. Cool, I bought a kit, I got in Amway. I went to a conference in Amway, and I started reading motivational books. The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. The Magic of Thinking Big by Robert David Schultz. The Winner's Circle by Dexter Ransom. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And they started planting in my mind, I need to get rich. I tried to be a boxer, I fought Golden Gloves. That wasn't a smart decision.
That wasn't your gift?
No, it was not. This Puerto Rican dude beat my ass so bad one day. Have you ever thanked God for an ass whooping before? He beat me so bad that I actually thanked the Lord for that, because it let me know that boxing is not what I do. That actually saved my life. This boy beat me, man. So I got out of that, and then one night, I used to write jokes for this comedian for $5 a joke. I didn't know what he was doing with them, but he was taking them and using them. So every time he wanted a joke, he came to me because I was always really funny. So one day, I'm writing some jokes for him, and this girl is sitting there named Gladys Jacobs. And she said, "You the guy that writes all the jokes for AJ Jamal?" I said, "I don't know if I write all of them." She said, "That's funny. Why don't you do them yourself?" I said, "Do jokes where?" She said, "At a comedy club." I said, "What's a comedy club?" Now I'm 27 years old. I'd never been to a comedy club in my life. She said, "Next Tuesday, I'm gonna pick you up. I'm gonna take you to Hilarity's Comedy Club. I want you to see what they do. Sign up for next week, and I want you to go on stage." I said, "Okay, cool." She picked me up, drove me down to the gig. So I signed up for next week. So I'm sitting there, and these comedians are going on stage, and I'm fascinated, man. I'm looking at these dudes, and I wasn't laughing at nothing, because I already knew what they was gonna say. And I knew what they should have said. See, my gift was in me, man. And it was just this one day, October 8th, 1985. I walked in that club, man, and they had 10 people go up. After the 9th guy, they said, "We're looking for Randy Schumer." And nobody came. He said, "Well, I guess he's not here. We're gonna go to next week's list. Y'all give it up for Steve Harvey." Now I'm sitting there, and I told the girl I was with, I said, "It's a dude in here, got the same name I got." She said, "You're a stupid son of a bitch." She said, "That's you." So he said, "Steve Harvey, come on up." The dude had went to the list from last week. I run up, I'm on stage. I don't know what to do. So the first thing I said was, "Hey y'all, I appreciate y'all clapping for me, but I ain't supposed to be here. I'm on the show next week." They started laughing. So I did this boxing joke. I did another joke. The audience is rolling. The club owner comes to the foot of the stage and he goes, now I ain't never been in show business. This means cut. I thought he meant you killing them. So finally they get me off stage. They bring all of us back up. They have a clap off. I win amateur night. October 8th, 1985, $50. I won $50. I'm driving home and I'm in the car crying. I'm crying, man, all the way home. She says, D, what you crying for? It ain't but $50. I said, no, you don't understand. I was born tonight. She said, what you mean? I said, this what I'm gonna do the rest of my life. She said, how you gonna do that? I said, this my gift. I've been asking God my whole life, just show me what my gift is. I said, he just showed it to me. I went to work the next day, October 9th, 1985, and quit my job. I have done nothing since October 9th to this day right here but tell jokes. I've never done nothing else. I was committed. I was relentless. You couldn't stop me. I have found my gift. God has showed it to me. That day changed my life. When I quit my job, I got relentless, man. I don't know how to quit. I don't know how to give up. Because ain't nothing in it for you if you give up. When you strike out on your dream, you got to have faith and you got to be willing to execute. But to execute, you got to get real doggish now, because life gonna get funky sometime. And when life get funky, you gotta bite back. You gotta develop some dog in you. Now, if you ain't gonna have no dog in you, you ain't gonna make it. I'm sorry. If you're not gonna be relentless, you're not gonna make it. If you wanna be successful, every successful person I know has jumped. If you don't jump, if you ain't willing to jump, you ain't finna be nothing. Now, if you wanna be ordinary, ain't nothing wrong with it. When it get hard for you, and it sure is, when you feel like giving up, and nowadays you will, and when you got no answers, and you get in this moment where you're confused and you're thinking about turning back, don't forget to pray. Don't be ashamed to pray. And don't ever be too proud to pray, because prayer changes things. Prayer changes people too. Thank y'all for having me.